Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So for my client, I've been able to improve their page one rankings from 7% to now over 30% in just 14 days. This is how the map has been changing for them. Let's get started. So SoLV stands for Share of Local Voice. It's a metric used by Local Falcon. Basically, it represents this. So if you ever Google anything like HVAC near me on your desktop, tablet, or mobile device, you're going to see three organic map pack listings. Those are dots 1, 2, and 3. That's the share of local voice. That's where you want to be for any business to get the majority of website clicks, direction requests, bookings, phone calls, and everything else like that. All right. So the SLV trend for my client, the keyword here is house cleaning service. And I have a very tight grid, 13 by 13 in a 2 mile radius. And I chose 2 miles because we were not ranking very well when I initially ran the scan for about 3 or 4 miles. So I really reduced and said, where can we start to win to get more leads for my client? This is their line graph, though. So at the end of May, again, we were 7% of the time. Then I ran the scan again on June 8th, 7% of the time. And now today on 6/10, so June 10th, we're at that 30.18% of the time. We've gone up 23 percentage points. And most importantly, we're taking share away from the top competitors. So within Local Falcon, I can see every scan that I run, how we fare against the top competitors. So the green's obviously at the very top. Then we have more of like an orange color, like orange, gold, and red, and then blue is my client. This is actually really important. If we're gonna get more page one rankings, we have to take share away from the top competitors. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit in this report. Again, here's how the heat map has changed. So I've recorded videos about this. I use ChatGPT and I also use Microsoft Copilot to really help analyze these dots. And I've been doing this a lot for a lot of my clients, so I don't necessarily have to always in these videos record how Copilot or ChatGPT are going to break down how many more dots have flipped. I have a video about that. I'll link it in the description, but it's actually this type of view is so clear that you can see how many more green dots there are from the right compared to the left. So visually, we can already see, hey, we're definitely starting to win more in different neighborhoods within the city. We feel pretty good with where we're going. Again, this is just one keyword, but a lot of the other keywords are also moving up in terms like company, near me, and several other terms as well. We're all seeing that same improvement. So what was done? I kind of alluded to this. ChatGPT and Copilot, what I do is I look at the top competitors using Local Falcon and I review and say, okay, based off these four, 3 or 4 profiles, what's common and where's the gap? So I'll do things like, do they have a local phone number? How many reviews do they have? Primary versus secondary categories. How often are they posting? How many reviews they have? A lot of this analysis I can do directly within ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot. This is a great beginning step for me to understand where my client is versus where the top competitors are. Next, so as you saw, I ran 3 local Falcon heat map scans and I made updates. So when I noticed that we were still at that 7% share of local voice, we were actually flipping some more dots from red to orange and yellow. That doesn't mean we're on page one yet, but I'm getting more confident that we're going to flip more of these dots at a later time. Every scan that I run within Local Falcon, I review the top competitors, again, I throw it into Copilot or ChatGPT to get an idea of how the map is changing and maybe where I should focus on next. Number 3, added more services to their Google business listing. So not only am I adding services around, house cleaning, but I'm also removing services as well. A lot of times when I onboard a client who has a Google business profile, there's a lot of services added by Google, and they're very generic. They'll say things like window cleaning or carpet or something really vague and generic. Those services that are automatically added by Google can actually detract away from your main core services. So not only am I adding services, but I'm also removing very unnecessary services from their account. Okay, so top right, my client receives reviews in Google. They respond to them. That's key. I can't control how many reviews my clients get, but if you can get reviews and respond to them, that is a user engagement factor. I believe it helps with dwell time, gives more confidence for people to potentially then reach out. You can also add some keywords into the reviews as well, but I can't get the reviews, but if they can get it, that's the hardest part. All right, bottom row. I've added in several new landing pages on their website. So a lot of times people will reach out and say, what if I just hire you for Google Business Profile? That's it. I put the website, Google Business Profile, and then also to a lesser degree, Apple and Bing Maps into the mix because it's really all parts of the strategy. So we need to have dedicated landing pages on our website talking about the specific service that we provide, because when we add that to the Google Business Profile, either with services or products or updates or in our description, they kind of have to match. Next, this is actually a kind of unique, but they had hundreds of 404s on their website. Now, when I onboarded them, I looked at their Google Search Console and I noticed this like big gap between index pages and then non-index pages. And initially, I kind of ignored it because I thought, let me just go forward and create new pages. There'd be no problem. I think what was happening was that Google was looking at this and saying, there's so many 404s on this site. We don't really trust these new pages you're creating. Therefore, rankings were stagnant. I worked with their team. I mapped out all these redirects that need to take place. We're actually reducing that gap between 404s and also index pages. I think that's going to really help with future indexing of all these new pages we're creating and thus driving more traffic. And then finally, I removed unnecessary categories on Google Business Profile. So I talked about that within services, but even Google Business Profile. I'll give you an example. If you are a concrete contractor, that should be your primary category. Having a secondary category that says like handyman or contractor is too vague. It can actually dilute away from your primary category. So always take a look at that and say, do we have really like a strong primary category? And then do we have a secondary category that complements that, does not subtract from it? And of course, there's more things like trust index, photos, schema markup, site speed, internal links. There's so much that's taking place, but really what this view over here, how the heat map is changing for them, I can see more dots or dots 1, 2, and 3, dark green. That means if you're searching for house cleaning or house cleaning service, house cleaning company, or house cleaning, what any type of variation of that, the page one rankings are growing for my client, and I'm really seeing this. And this is actually going to hit at the perfect time because again, we're creating more landing pages. We're trying to simplify the checkout process. We're trying to find more ways to generate leads, and leads really begin from more impressions, which come from better rankings on your Google Business Profile. So anyway, I hope this video might have sparked some ideas what you can do to help improve your heat map for your business. Let me know if you have any questions, and as always, have a good rest of your day.